You are listening to the Pencil and Paper Podcast Network.
Wake up to the world you've been missing. Time to jump out of bed in the morning. No day, no life, now we're living. Can you feel it in the air that you're breathing? Time to show 'em what you're made of. Let's get back on track. Are you ready for a come on? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Are you ready now? You're lifting off the ground. Welcome back. No coming down. Can you feel it all around? Welcome back.
Ho, 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 and merriest of Merry Christmases there, siblings. It's your favorite podcast host, Stephen and Lace. How you doing?
Happy Monday, holidays, all the things.
Yeah, it's Christmas week, and we're joining you right at the beginning, so you can kick off your holiday festivities however you want. You can listen to us today and just be like, oh, there they are. I got my
There they
Christmases in from the Super Mega Crash siblings, and
It feels like the holidays because we're screaming in your ear about something.
you might have people in your home right now that you don't want there. It is
Sorry.
very, very close. You know, I've, as we've discussed before, I don't know what that's like to have people come to your house days before and just stay. I don't know what that is. So it's fascinating to me.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I always have to be the one removing myself from the comfort of my home and going somewhere else for however long. I know I got a break last year, so I shouldn't complain. Last year, I got to stay home for all of them, and it was great.
That you did.
It was great. But this year, I've got to suck it up. Do it again. Although, I'm laughing this time because it's not my work schedule preventing it. For once. It was always me. I always heard, why can't you blah, blah, blah? Like, everyone thinks I'm just allowed to, take off whenever I want, especially when I was working. And I'm sorry when I was a server and that my company sucks and they thought opening on the holidays was the way to go because screw us.
Yeah.
I'm lucky if I'll get the second day off, just to make the drive not as awful. But yeah, I was always driving in on Christmas. So yeah, I already didn't like the holidays and this made me hate them more, So I'm just like, it's just a long day where I'm tired and have a headache.
Understandable. And you know what? There might be people in today's conversation that hate Christmas all the same, all because of one goddamn thing.
One thing that makes it miserable every year that you just wish if you could nix it, it would be great,
Yeah. So we are doing Am I the Asshole Christmas edition. Why are we doing this? Because I felt like this was a fun thing. Because I've enjoyed the last two that we did, and with this one, I felt like it's we hear the stories, we hear the horror stories around Thanksgiving and Christmas, the holidays of families getting together and having drama.
We've all probably got our own. Like, was I just an asshole back there? Like, you probably could relate. Hopefully not to all of them. Because we've read some of them. Like, you guys aren't new. You've heard these things. So it could go either way.
And for clarification's sake, because I'm sure we've already cleared the air from the last one we did, but I got very irate. When I went back and listened to the episode as I was editing it, the one about the son-in-law who had a dairy allergy, because when I listened to it, I had to go back, even though I had edited it, and I was like, did we get our stories mixed up? Because I started thinking, did you say lactose intolerant or dairy allergy? In your, like, what you read, you said both. So therefore, I was getting irate because I heard both and I couldn't discern which was which. I think we eventually got there in the conversation that it was a dairy allergy, not lactose intolerance. But I had lost the narrative
Well, I remember us having that conversation too, because I'm like, well, now I've got to look it up, because I remember she's like, I did lactate and everything, and she was trying to do all these things right. And then that's what I remember us looking at each other like, was this, wait, allergy or intolerant? Or it sounds like it's an allergy. And sure enough, that had to be the case if it landed him in the ER, hospital or wherever, But yeah, I still was just like, that poor woman.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Like, I know your boyfriend's in the hospital and that really sucks too. I'm glad he's okay. But like, she was trying too hard. She didn't know that, I don't know. And if I was confused, then I'm not sure if she was ever told if it was allergy or intolerant. She probably just was told intolerant or thought lactate didn't have whatever in it. Like, I don't know.
But it's that blurring of the lines. And I think that's what I was getting so upset about, is when you hear how angry they got, but maybe you didn't clearly state what it was, because you think dairy allergy, lactose intolerant, same difference.
Probably, to those of us who don't know.
Right. Because you see the lactate, you see the dairy-free stuff, and you're like, oh, okay, well then that's all the same.
Right. I would probably assume the same.
Yeah, because we normally take lactose and dairy, and they are equated as the same thing. Therefore, we don't separate them. It's just like dairy-free means no lactose. Lactose-free means no dairy. Done. Okay. And that's up to the son-in-law or the son to educate his mother and say, no. I see where the mistake was made. Yeah.
But like, also, see, I know we're going off this again, because now I kind of want to go back and read it. But it was like, they knew it had lactate in it, I think, right? So like, at some point, wouldn't he have been like, but that's not the same thing, Mom. I can't have him eat it or something, So I'm like, I feel like they were even confused what his boyfriend or husband or whoever it was had.
Right. Like, because they did ask, that was part of the note that you said, is that she told them, here's all the stuff, here's what I've cooked it with, or here's the dairy-free section.
Here's the dairy stuff,
Maybe they didn't specify, or maybe she didn't go into detail until after the fact. But still, if you're that concerned about it, as you clearly seem to be after the fact, then maybe you just want to clarify, okay, so what is in this? What is in this? What is in this? Cool, thanks.
And I feel like people with severe allergies check that stuff all the time. Like you would, I served for a very long time, and usually one of the first things people will let you know is a food allergy that they have, and it ruins your day when they hand you a full card where it's just like, dude, why didn't I know you want to go out to eat, but what the hell? Yeah. We're going to have to make you something completely different, And I understand. I'm not trying to knock you people with a lot of allergies. Like, I get it. You get to deserve to go out and everything. But tip your server well, because as the joke goes, you gave them several ways to kill you that night and they didn't take it. Okay?
Yep.
So give them an extra tip, If you can, tip the chef, because I guess they really did all the hard work in that situation. Server still just brought it over to you, but they made the notes.
Mm-hmm.
They made sure that chef knew it would kill you. I don't know. I'm being silly. Please don't hate me.
Before going down this am I the asshole rabbit hole, I did want to touch on this, because I don't think we've talked about this, because we don't normally touch on normal news cycle stories or whatnot. But did you remember hearing that nonsense that Disney tried to pull for some woman who ate at their restaurant, allergic, and then they couldn't sue because she signed an agreement on Disney Plus, which
that said it could only be what's the term?
Free them any
arbitration.
Of any legal liability, arbitration, whatever. They're just like, you signed it because you got Disney Plus.
And it was like she signed up for a free trial like years prior even. So it wasn't even like she signed up, had the service, was currently enjoying Disney Plus. She tried out a free trial. And I don't know when we're going to start getting, like, I get you got all the legalese you want us to hit, like we understand our terms and service and blah, blah, blah. No one's reading those. Even if we did, we don't know what the hell any of it means unless you're some brilliant legal mind or just, someone in that field, or, somebody who maybe studies the stuff or whatever. But like us normal Joe Schmoes, I don't, even if I'm reading it, I know what English words are. Doesn't mean I understand them strung together in the way you just put it. Like I feel like a lot of court systems are kind of siding that way here lately too, where they're like, yeah, they signed it, but really.
Yeah.
But really, so I feel like we need more of that, because I have no idea what kinky stuff I might have signed up for myself. They could just slip something in there, we're just like, oh, okay, well.
See, this would be one of the great uses of AI is that it could peruse this document for you in record time and say, point out anything that seems very, very important that I need to read over. Very, very clearly that is not your usual legalese. If there's something. As the
gamer sits there and goes, I'm going to hit it anyway. But just tell me.
But if you could, just AI look through, see if it sounds on the level or if something seems kind of shady. If that's possible, I feel like it could be possible. If it sees anything that's questionable or illegal or questionably could be illegal, but it's somehow legal in this document if you sign it.
Yeah, no. Or like how much of it would be actually binding. Because like something like this, there's no way you should be able to equate those two things as the same whatsoever. Signing up for a streaming service or killing a woman in your park.
Yeah.
What? That poor guy. Like, and just to put him through that after the fact even, like, yeah.
I'd be tearing that whole fucking place down. I'm sorry.
Oh, God. As much as I could. I'd be like, as soon as it got that kind of PR and it was starting to shift to where he was like allowed to sue and all this stuff, I'm like, for everything you can, get you a really good lawyer, because once he gets that good payday from Disney, he'll be fine, or she'll be fine, or they'll be fine, whoever you get. And take him to the cleaners.
Yeah.
I want you to live like richer than Elon Musk for the rest of your days, just to screw over Disney.
And if you could just use that money to then fuck over those people, that would be great.
And then buy Disney, fire those people,
and right the ship. Make it better.
And do it. Yeah. And don't kill people.
Yeah.
Pay attention when someone says they have an allergy and abide by it. Because oh my gosh. I couldn't even imagine being that server. Because there was one time, and this still to this day blows my mind. Because like we just said, when people have allergies, that's usually the first thing they want to say, regardless of what they're eating, And so I'm serving a banquet at this point. And so everything's pretty much the same. Everyone's getting the same salad. You might get a choice of one or two entrees or whatever. But for most banquets, a lot of the stuff is set ahead of time. It makes your experience go a lot smoother than us trying to take 50 individual orders. It's just not going to work, right?
Sure.
So we take the order, we bring out the salads, we do all that. As we're clearing, the guy's getting a reaction. We had walnuts in one of our salads. Never, ever once mentioned he had an allergy. And so now we're all kind of like freaking out because this dude needs like an EpiPen. He's not doing great. He ended up being fine. But then all of a sudden our work's like, now we have to ask every time if someone has an allergy. And in my head, I'm like, I have never in my 20 years of serving tables had somebody with an allergy not tell me that right away. I'm not going to feel bad that I made a mistake here. I would never have known. I feel bad it happened. Don't get me wrong, but like, I didn't mess up here.
No, you're not in the wrong here. You have your customers have a menu that tell them what is in all the dishes. So if you didn't go through and read the ingredients of every dish, because I do that. Okay. Anybody who doesn't is a lunatic, because
especially if you have an allergy. Like what the?
Yeah. Because if you're ordering food, you want to know what all it's going to be with said food. So you want to know, is it going to come with mushrooms? Is it going to come with onions? Is it going to be topped with this or that? Is it going to be mixed with this vegetable, that vegetable? What do I not want?
Right.
And that's how you do it. I feel like this is the same thing. If you didn't read that there was walnuts in it, that's on you, buddy. If the menu clearly states it.
Yeah, like we do give out those little ones there. And again, like I said, usually the first thing I've heard out of their mouth was like, I'm allergic to blah, blah, blah. And this was not a young man. I'm not calling him old, but like old enough that you realize you have this allergy, probably, I mean, we all felt bad, of course, but still that one moment where I'm just like, how the hell did you not tell any of us?
That's something on them because
how do you just forget?
Two things. Like I have a work friend who has a gluten allergy. And when she travels, she said that she has to tell or like call ahead to any places she's traveling. Because if she gets into contact with gluten, she showed me like she balloons up. It's fucking weird, you know?
Yeah.
But
and probably does not feel good.
Oh,
at
God.
all.
It cannot feel good. I mean, I swear to God, you think she was pregnant. How bloated she looked.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So I understand that.
And people probably don't take that as seriously anymore because all of those gluten hurts my tummy people as they're eating like a whole chocolate cake. I'm like, I don't think it's the gluten, babes.
No.
I think it's the whole freaking chocolate cake you just ate that's hurting your stomach. But anyway.
Sure.
So she's probably not getting taken seriously anymore because of those people.
Right. And that's frustrating that people can't just accommodate. You know, she doesn't want to make anybody feel...
I'm sure not. Yeah.
You know, that she's being...
a pain in the ass, a problem. Yeah.
I don't know why I can't come up with the word. There's a big word.
In trouble, yeah.
She didn't want to be an inconvenience. There's the word I was looking for. It took me a minute. I got there.
We got there.
But on another note, and I wish I had said it to the person I was on the phone with, because this is one of those situations where the restaurant was doing their due diligence and they didn't have to. Okay. This is a simple situation. They could have just been like, doesn't matter. But they did.
Can't have that.
And I applaud them for it. And I should have told them that. I had ordered a pizza through Papa Murphy's. You know, you build your own pizza, whatever, and you pick it up. And I got like a freebie for my birthday. So I was like, I'm going to get a pizza for my birthday, you know?
Yeah.
So I was setting up my order. And since they offered the dairy-free cheese, I like to go with that, you know, kind of cut back on it. Because as I've said before, I'm lactose intolerant. If I can cut away from it, I prefer regular cheese. It's not like...
Yeah, who wants to have poop night all evening?
Right.
You know? Yeah.
So if the option is there, I'll take it. They have dairy-free cheese, so I'm like, I usually do that. So I did. Now I got a pizza that had a creamy garlic sauce. Didn't realize that. But I saw all the toppings and everything, and I was like, yeah, awesome. So I got all that. And about 15, 20 minutes after I put on the online order, I get a phone call. And I'm looking at my phone and going, who the hell is this? And it was local. So that's why I answered it. And I was like, all right, hello. And they're just like, hi, is this, Stephen White? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, this is so-and-so from Papa Murphy's. I just wanted to double check on your order. You had dairy-free cheese, but the sauce on this pizza contains dairy. Is that okay? And I was
solid.
Like, yeah. And I was like, oh shit. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. I said, I was just cutting back on the dairy. I said, it's nothing, bad or anything like that. It just kind of upsets my stomach. I was just cutting back on it. I said, but yeah, that'll be fine. Just on the sauce. And she's like, okay, I just wanted to call and make sure.
I would have applauded her.
Yeah.
I would have been like, it's fine. And I knew that, but thank you, because I want you to continue to do that for other people. Just because it wasn't the case with me. Because I've had that before where I just straight up didn't pay attention, and I've had them call me about something, and I'm just like, oh my God, thank you.
Yeah.
Like I would have been miserable because now I had this thing I didn't want, and didn't realize, I ordered it. It would have been my fault, but still.
But no.
You fixed it.
Yeah, in that same vein, if this had been the son-in-law, okay, who ordered that pizza and did not pay attention that this sauce, and then no one called because he didn't really look into it. He was just like, oh, creamy garlic, that sounds good. And is not thinking, how does it become creamy?
Right. What makes it creamy?
Right. So, I don't know. I wish I'd said something. And that's why it's, I think, a good idea to practice thanking people and being polite, because
way more than we do. Yes.
That girl went above and beyond. And I don't know if she was told to do that or not, but regardless, the steps in place that they went to that point and did that, I applaud them for that, because it didn't do anything for me personally, but that could save a life at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally. No, keep doing that, guys. That really helps. I'm sure you're going to have 20 million other people who complained first. And who knows, it could have been somebody yelling at her, why are you stupid? You wouldn't tell me it had cream in it. And now she's like, well, I better frickin' call so we don't have another complaint. Either way.
Yeah, either way. Yeah, thank you. You did a magnificent job.
Keep doing that.
But let's talk about some
other possible assholes, right?
Yeah.
Possibly or not, there's always still running that risk of who knows how long these things are going to be, because I feel like, am I the asshole on Reddit? You need to, I don't know, 2,000 character limit or something. Because some of these people, like, look, I know you feel like, look, I over-explain things. That's part of how my brain works. I know most people listen to my stories and have no idea why I had to tell you that the folder was red that was sitting on the coffee table as I walked by before I went into the kitchen to grab the thing I was actually talking about. I don't know, but it's there. Okay? But rein them in. Okay? I need a character limit, and so do they. All right? In my life, I need a character limit, and so do they. Anyway, so we'll just see what happens here. And if they're long, they're long. It'll just be what it is. Oh, they gave us a TLDR right away, so that's probably
nice.
That's probably bad news, right?
maybe.
Let's see. Oh, this one's asking if they would be the asshole. So hadn't done it yet, I guess. Okay. Would I be the asshole for only getting Christmas gifts for myself this year? Like, I already feel like you do you.
Yeah.
You do
I mean,
you.
you know what? I'll give this guy credit. Or is it a guy, gal, they?
I don't know yet
Okay.
if they even said. Yeah.
I'll give this person credit for at least asking ahead of time.
Asking random strangers on the internet,
Yeah.
would I be an asshole if I did this?
Yeah, like you're planning it, so you want to know.
So I kind of want to skip the TLDR, because then that's just going to give us the synopsis when you gave us such a lengthy explanation here. All right, let's see. TLDR. My family always makes me feel like an outcast at Christmas, so I want to spend Christmas alone and only buy myself gifts, as well as telling them beforehand not to get me anything. Okay. So I'm the black sheep of the family. I'm the weird one who everyone doesn't get and everyone Christmas. I hate it because I always feel left out. My family has a habit of getting me gifts that they like or just random shit. They will buy me clothes that I would never wear, knowing that I never dress like that, all because they think I should dress that way. All right. Yeah. They put maximum effort into gifts that they get each other, and I always feel like an afterthought. Mind you, they put in caps. It's not about the gifts. I don't care about that. What I care about is how they don't even care to take the time to try and actually think about the gifts I care about the way they do for each other and the way I do for them. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So last Christmas, one of my aunts spent a crap ton of money buying the most luxurious gifts for each member of the family. She made a big show of it, lots of applause and presentations. You know what she got me? A Harry Potter keychain, because she couldn't think of anything, as she told me in her own words. And guess what? Of all the gifts, it was the most thoughtful. I was so embarrassed and yet impressed that this one keychain was the most thoughtful gift. This year, I'm planning on buying myself all the shit I like, wrapping it up, putting it under the tree, opening it for myself. I'm not planning on getting them gifts and explicitly telling them to not give me anything. I will not be participating in our annual Secret Santa if they decide to go on vacation. I remain home. I just don't want to keep feeling left out. I don't want to feel as if I am an obligation. So I'm taking myself out of the narrative. But at the same time, I feel this could be wrong. Would I be the asshole?
Based on the way they are describing their family, I'm going to say no. Because look, with the gift giving thing, I want to start with that first, because I know that one very well. And the you don't want to sound ungrateful. You don't, okay? And I've said that so many times. I'm not ungrateful. I don't want to seem ungrateful. You went out of your way. You got me a gift. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get me something that is not reflective of me in any way, shape, or form, or it seems demeaning, case in point, one year I got, because for whatever reason, in-laws and I mean both in-laws, the moment they found out that I had a son named Anakin, they immediately said, oh, Star Wars, that's what we have to bombard him with. He's just this huge fucking Star Wars nut. He has to, he loves everything Star Wars, so that's what we have to focus on. So it becomes this, who can get me the most Star Wars stuff? And I'm like, Jesus fuck, I don't need it.
Mistakes were made.
Yeah. So at one point there was a Christmas, and one of Katrina's aunts got me a book that looked like it was for a 5-year-old, which broke down the layers of the Millennium Falcon.
Okay.
And I just looked at this and I was like, I didn't know what to say.
Right.
And I just said, well, after we left Electric Katrina, I said, look, I don't want to sound ungrateful, but if this is the level of gift that they think that I'm worth, then just don't give me anything. This is for a child. You know what I mean?
Giving me stuff to throw away is how I feel.
Yeah, like what am I going to do with this? I'm not going to look at this. This is for a child. I don't.
Or you already did, and now it's done because you probably looked at it enough to make them feel like they, nice.
Yeah, it's just
live through it.
And like I said, I sound so ungrateful. I sound like such a prick.
Yeah.
And I hate that I feel that way, and I hate that it sounds like that. But at the same time, I'm just like, I'd rather you have just not spent your money on me.
Yeah, save your money. Yeah. Come have dinner, whatever. Just don't buy me stuff.
Yeah, if you don't know what I like and it looks, if you're reaching for a toy, don't.
Yeah.
I don't want it. I'm not a fucking child.
Right.
Okay?
For the last 30 years or so, toys, I don't need toys.
Yeah,
child's toys.
My mother-in-law, my current mother-in-law, she's the world's worst at toys, and Katrina has told her stop buying because she'll find them at yard sales or whatever. And I know she thinks she's probably getting me some rarity, but it's
no,
it's not.
Maybe one day she will, though, by accident. I don't know.
But no, I mean, if they're treating him like an outcast, they're trying to make him feel inferior, just doing this passive aggressive shit because they don't conform or fit into what they want. No, fuck that.
Yeah. And it's like also to not, I don't know, my feelings would be hurt that you hadn't even bothered to get to know me better than that. Like, aren't you my family? And to your point, if you did know me as well as, that, and then you were still deciding to get these other things, well, now you're just being the asshole to this person writing the post.
Yeah.
You like skirts? Well, I don't think you should be dressing in skirts. I'm getting you nice slacks. And every year you got nice slacks. It's like, for the love of God, I don't wear slacks, or whatever it is, just picking a random.
Well,
I would be upset at that too. I'd just be like, just don't. I don't know if I'd be brave enough to tell them not to get me anything though. Like, I feel like it hurt their feelings or something, and I just sit in it.
Well, I'm going to say something aloud that I haven't said aloud, but it feels like it's very much in the same vein of what you're talking about here, that someone told you something and you're not listening and you continue to push it anyway.
Yeah.
I see this with my grandchildren and my mom because I'd raised my four oldest, who are legal adults.
Mm-hmm.
I never pushed religion on them, but I never told them you can't be religious.
Yeah, do your own thing. Figure it out yourself.
Yeah, I let it be for them to figure out on their own. I would, if they ask me questions, I would give them my take on it. I said, but that's just my opinion. I said, other people are going to have their opinions. I said, that's up to you to decide. And that's how I wanted it to be. I didn't want to force religion on them, but I knew other people would. It's just, I didn't want that for them. Figure it out. If it makes sense to you, great. Whatever it is. They have let my mom know that, but my mom is very Christian and she
wants to save their soul.
Exactly. So she continues to push or bring it up at times. And they have told me it does get on their nerves. And if mom is listening to this, I'm sorry. I'm using this as an example. You've said what you got to say. You didn't hear me. All that's doing is making the other person angry or
uncomfortable too. Like,
you told them this is not for me. And yet you continue to give me books or send me things with all that. It's not for me. Stop. I think I even told you this. There was a podcast host that I had or guest or the podcast host I had at one point years ago. Won't explain who. If you want to go search around, you
digging.
Can. Yeah. But he was a Jehovah's Witness, and he started like, I didn't know that when we first started the podcast stuff, and then suddenly he just texted me out of the blue, and he started going into that, and I was like, not for me, dude. I'm sorry. Appreciate it, but no thanks.
Yeah.
But he kept on.
Nope. Yeah. Now it's a problem.
And that's when it became a problem for me. And I even told him point blank, I was like, look, dude, I said, this is not for me. And I was being very respectful. I said, but this is the last time you're going to say this. Okay. Stop. This is it. And it wasn't too far long after that we parted ways because I was just trying. I said my piece, man.
Yeah.
I'll ask for a little respect.
Yeah. That's the thing with some of those religions though too, especially like in Christianity, just because I can speak from experience on that one or whatever, like being a witness or missionaries or whatever. Like I remember getting such big high praise because they're doing the Lord's work by bringing his word to, it wasn't a good way of like, we're bringing it to these primitive people who need God and blah, blah, blah. Like they're fine. They don't need it. But these religions make them feel like they have to, like they're not being a good enough Christian if they're not trying to witness and bring people over and stuff. So it's like you're almost at a loss in this situation because they're going to feel like their God would be judging them on making sure, you knew the path, the way, or whatever. And then you're like, Jesus Christ, if you tell me one more flipping time, I'm going to not just to spite you, like maybe I was gonna love Jesus, but now, So it's like, it's a no-win situation. They feel like their God's telling them to do it. Even if you're protesting, that just means the devil's in your heart. You just got to get through your heart. Got to get the devil out, So it's like, what do you do? It's almost like you just have to cut him off.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but it's almost like you kind of like for both of our sanities. Sorry, Mom, I love you, but we can't talk anymore. I'm kidding. Don't do that to your mom. But, like it just, no, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I felt like I had to be that person when I was growing up too, because I was supposed to go to this Christian college and I was going to help do this and blah, 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 and oh my God, if I had turned into that person.
No, I feel like I could have been.
I don't know.
Yeah, but you never know though. You never know because
Yeah.
I've often wondered. I've been there too. If I had gone down a different path, there's at least one decision that I could have made that I think might have taken me down that path. I don't know that, but I've thought if I had gone down that road,
that would have been it.
What? I don't know. I don't know though. Yeah. I don't know though. I feel like my brain questioning things at some point. I might have gotten there eventually. I just don't know if it would have taken as long or if it would have taken longer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I'm happy the way it is now, and you be happy doing your thing. But yeah. So I don't know. I don't think you're the asshole. I don't think you're the asshole for wanting to just like, because, I mean, I'd have to call myself an asshole, I guess, too, because how often have I been like, I just want to be left alone and stay here on Christmas and leave me alone. Totally different reasons. It's not because like I'm getting garbage gifts and nobody's listening to me. So it's almost like I get wanting to just chill at home by yourself with stuff you enjoy because you bought it for yourself.
And look,
call it a day.
I mean, what's the alternative? I mean, this person could be very depressed, and we all know how depressed people get around the holidays. Yep. So you know what? They're trying to make the day a positive thing for them. You are not an asshole if this is going to make you happier. If this is going to be the highlight of your day and that this will make your Christmas day better than any of those family Christmases.
Right.
You do you, and you go enjoy this day by yourself. You go buy you a fancy Cornish hen. You buy yourself a fancy little pie. Yeah. Make yourself a fancy little dinner. Get you some wine.
See, that's a good day. Put on Christmas movies if you like it. I don't know. Watch whatever you want. Do everything. See, that sounds glorious. That sounds like the best day, honestly, to me, than being surrounded by a bunch of people. People I love. I just, sometimes you just can't. And I don't know. You do. You have fun. Open those gifts.
And maybe
you had a good time.
Maybe if you want to top off the day just right, find you a little XXX Santa movie.
There you go.
Christmas Saint Nick jingled my jangle or something like that.
It exists too. I'm gonna look for it. Saint Nick's got you jangled. Yeah, maybe just even take a trip. Get away from them all. Take a trip, buy your gifts. I don't know. Maybe they'll actually listen then next time. Maybe they love you enough. They want you to come over. They're like, all right, crap. we were making them miserable this whole time.
Something tells me this family will not see that. They'll see it as a slight. They'll be like, of course they don't want to come here.
Probably right.
God.
Yeah.
So
Gosh.
to the guy who wrote the post, you enjoy your holiday.
Please do. And I hope it was great.
Yeah.
I hope it was great because these are, obviously not this Christmas since it hasn't quite happened yet. So we have to just hope that these people from last year are doing good.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get edits after this year and go, hey, maybe I should go check on dude. Did you have a good Christmas by yourself?
Yeah, if this
Give
is
us
an
edit,
older
an update.
if this is an older post, I'm really hoping that they are okay. Because
Enjoy your day.
Yeah.
However you do it. All right, let's see. Next one. Am I the asshole for not giving my girlfriend a gift for Christmas?
Oh, well, maybe.
I'm going to have to explain this one here
Okay.
a little bit, I think.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
My girlfriend, 24 female, and I, 28 male, have been together for 1 year and some months. I don't really care about the holidays, any holiday or birthday. I'm not religious or anything. I just think holidays are pointless, especially gift giving. Oh, see, I already feel him here, but we're going to continue. Okay. In my opinion, giving gifts on Christmas and birthdays is just stupid. You have all year to give gifts or to show people you care. Having a specific day to do that just makes it feel forced or routine. Yeah. My girlfriend, on the other hand, really likes the holidays and gift giving, etc. She and her family have always had a get together for Christmas where they have a gift exchange and they all get gifts for each other. So she was obviously raised in an environment that focuses on materialist love language, where, as my perspective, is to not give or receive with any expectations and not just on the holidays. Last year, we got each other gifts for the holidays, not formally or anything. I got her a small plushie, which she seemed really happy about, and she got me some relatively expensive streetwear from a brand I like. She likes to give gifts with thought behind it. Like, for example, we were watching a lot of cooking in the wild type of videos on YouTube, and I mentioned how I like the type of knives that were used. And for my birthday, she ended up getting me one custom made. It was around $200. I didn't get her anything for her birthday, which was before mine, and I kind of felt bad about it after seeing the gift she got me, as you should. No, I shouldn't say that. I haven't finished yet. But this year, she asked me if I wanted to exchange gifts early since we won't be together on Christmas Day. I said yes. She once again got me some really nice streetwear, and I was shocked. I told her I didn't get her anything. What? Oh, okay, I'll finish because I'm already we just said. Okay, I told her, you guys at home are probably will you finish it so I know what's going on, Lace? All right. This year, she asked me if I wanted to exchange gifts early since we won't be together on Christmas. I said yes. She once again got me some nice streetwear. I was shocked. I think he meant to say shocked because it said stalked. I think it was supposed to be shocked. I told her I didn't get her anything, and she said that she didn't get me a gift with any expectations, though I could tell that seemed a little down. I was chatting with my friends about the clothes that I got, and they asked what I got my girlfriend. I told them I didn't get her anything, and they offhandedly called me an asshole, which I don't think I am. Info. Also, there were no money issues involved. We both have good jobs, just to be clear, to get an honest judgment. And then he has another edit. There was not an agreement beforehand to exchange gifts. I meant that she just asked if I wanted to open gifts before the no. The 25th, I opened her gift right after she asked. You did not say that, sir. You said this year she asked me if I wanted to exchange gifts early since we won't be together. And then your edit down here was the agreement was there was not an agreement to exchange gifts. Sir, asshole, done. Fini, over. What? You're lying in your same post.
Yeah, this is an easy, clear, you are the asshole. Look, I understand the whole I don't want to exchange gifts nonsense drama bullshit, okay? Valentine's Day, I haven't celebrated that in I don't know when, okay?
Never.
Absolutely ridiculous fucking holiday, okay? I don't need that to prove to somebody that I love them. That's dumb. But look, a birthday, a Christmas, or something like that, like you and I, we've exchanged gifts in the past, but it's not like we expect it.
No,
it's not an
and it's very
expectation.
sporadic and random.
Yeah, it's just like something will cross our minds or whatever, and we're just like, I get you something.
Or when I finally make something.
Yeah, whatever it may be.
You know?
So there's not an expectation, but it's, I don't feel like between us, there's an expectation. Now, with your spouse, your significant other, the other person, I know it's a girlfriend, but still it's someone you have been with for a year.
And some months.
Yeah. And you know she loves giving gifts. Get it out of your fucking head, man. And just, you love this girl. Do you care about her? This is something she cares about. So why don't you go out of your way, get out of your fucking bullshit routine, and get her a fucking gift?
Twice a year.
Twice
It sounds like
a
all
year.
she's even asking. Yeah. Like, you can get her stuff for the rest of the year. And that's also very nice to just get a random gift for no reason. That is very touching. Like, you were just thinking of me randomly throughout the day, saw something you thought I would like, and brought it to me. Or however.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, you just said my girlfriend really likes the holidays and gift giving. So right there, you've said what she likes. She's made it very clear. And you're refusing to participate. Like, I can understand fuck capitalism, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. But she's told you she likes it.
And she has gone out of her way to get you some very, very pricey goddamn
Nice
gifts.
things. Yes. Yes.
Twice.
Like, and it sounds like she would have been fine with whatever.
Yeah, you got her a plushie that one time. Get her
That
fucking...
couldn't have been that much. 15, 20 bucks, maybe 30 in this day and age. But still, like,
Yeah.
what is that, really?
Son of a bitch.
No,
He's an
sir.
asshole.
You are an
100%.
asshole. And especially a double asshole for coming back to edit and a lie. So which was it? Did you guys agree to exchange or not?
It doesn't-
Because you
I honestly-
conflicted in the same post here, sir.
I honestly don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. Whether or not they agreed or not, he didn't get her a fucking thing.
Especially, no. Look,
We've already established she loves this shit. He is aware she loves this shit.
So do it.
Yeah, why can't you just be like, okay, for her? But
Yes.
that shows how little you give a fuck about her, I feel like.
Like, now that's a whole other conversation. You're right. Like, so you don't love her enough to get her something even as small, just something small.
Yeah.
Make her a coupon book, for Christ's sake. Maybe that's all she wants. For one free hug, one free canoodle, or whatever. You know, like just something with some sort of thought.
Yeah, a gift. Nobody said you had, like, yeah, that's perfect. You go find something that means something. It doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg. Doesn't.
Nope.
And I guarantee she would love it because you got her a gift that meant something from the heart.
Yeah.
But you can't do that because you're a selfish prick.
And it would mean something more because she knows you don't like it and you're doing it for her.
Yeah. That would go a long way.
Do you know how many points you'd score, dude? Like, hello? Yeah, no, this one's easy. You're an asshole. And I was hoping to see an edit down here where he's like, okay, I got her stuff or whatever. But no, he just wanted to make sure we all understood. We didn't say exchange. No, sir, you said exchange.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm looking at it. This year, she asked me if I wanted to exchange gifts early. And then edit. There was not an agreement beforehand to exchange gifts. You're an asshole and a liar. And I hope she found someone better.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think she deserves someone who is going to, I don't know, make an effort.
Right.
Again, the gift giving thing. Katrina and I have talked about that. Money gets tight or whatever, and it's just she
We don't
feels
always
like,
get each other everything either.
We've had those conversations where it's just like, I don't know if I'm going to have enough money to get you something. And it's like, don't worry about it. I've told Katrina that so many times. If you can't, it's fine.
Yeah.
You're still here. You're going to say what? It's fine. It's absolutely fine. I'm not going to be so upset that I don't get a gift. Same with Christmas. I've got everything I need. I don't need anything else. Yeah. Like I've got a wish list of things, and it's things that I would like to have, but I don't need. So that's the list I give to everybody. It's like, here's this list of things that I've seen and I would like to have. And if you want to give me something off this list, fantastic.
Perfect. Yeah. I just find like as an adult too, you're probably buying what you need as you go along. You're not saving it for a holiday or something. So of course, probably around the end of October, November, like if I were, I might try to halt on some things I want just so I have an idea to pass along to other people, even though honestly, don't get me anything either. Like it's fine. Cause like, I know this sounds awful, but I'm kind of with him in the attitude of like, I don't want to, so don't get me anything either. Like, I just don't want to participate. I don't want to fight crowds of people for stuff, that you're probably going to look at for a month or two and then never look at again and stand in lines and then return stuff that doesn't fit. And it's just like, bleh.
Now,
So I get you, dude, like having to do it all at once.
I will say this, and he didn't say it, so hopefully he's not going to come back and edit this in as like, oh, this is what she was doing. Now, if he had said something along the lines of she had been doing this as almost like a form of manipulation, like she was giving you gifts and being like, look what I got you, and you're not getting me anything.
Yeah, but I feel like he would have said
Oh,
that.
yeah, he didn't say that at all. No, let's just, she seemed like somebody who just genuinely enjoyed giving gifts. Like
that might be one of her love languages.
Yeah.
She likes providing for you, giving you things, making sure you're set, taken care of, look nice, whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
So that is just could be who she is, and she just enjoys doing that. So I'm in that same boat where if I can get somebody something and I know it's going to mean something, I want to do that. Like that's the gift I want to give them. I don't want to give them something half-assed or anything like that. I want to know that it meant something. It comes from the heart because there's something about it that's going to be special to the person I'm giving it to for whatever reason. And I don't feel like he's looking at it through that perspective where you can just... There's no obligation. You don't have, I don't want to feel obligated to give somebody a gift if I got one or vice versa. I don't want them to feel obligated to get me something just because I got them something. It was just something I thought about in the moment. I got you. Done. And that's how he should look at it. But again, how hard is it? Just twice, 2 times.
And I bet she's easy to buy for. And like, I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong, but she might just, it sounds like she might just, well, again, plushy. He already said it. She seemed pleased about just that. And he
said
about her.
And he said they're not strapped for money. So it's not a money problem. So what the fuck is it, dude? Other than you're just being selfish.
Yes. This I do. I feel 100% you just didn't want to do it. And nobody's going to convince you F off. And I'm saying you're going to have a really long, tough life with relationships if that's the attitude you're going to have. Maybe she's not for you then, man. Maybe you need to have somebody else, and let her have someone who would give her gifts because she wants it or exchange gifts or whatever. Because I just like you really said she loves gift giving in the holidays and then turn around and been like, yeah, but I'm not buying her anything. Like... Oh man, OP, come on.
He sounds very I don't know, like he's got these great takes on everything, like, oh yeah, capitalism. Right. But yet he's doing it in the worst way possible. He's like taking it to an extreme where he's being an asshole while standing for his morals and values, which, applause that you can take that stance, but you realize how you're treating other people. Just because you want to be a jerk.
Oh man. You know what though? Somebody, some, I didn't even know you could do this until now. Like some poster underneath was like, you should read OP's comments. He's a total ass. And I'm like, you can do that. So I just clicked on his name. And now I don't know if he's like a for real person or just doing this for karma or whatever, but one of them, he posted it. Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend I'm not sure that I'll go to her birthday supper? So that's one of the first ones. Am I the asshole for shaming my girlfriend for making dirty jokes? And then the not giving her a gift, for not paying for my girlfriend's petrol after borrowing her car? You need to run, woman. Get away from this guy. Really? Borrowing your car and he's not going to put it in? You've already said you have money. He's not getting you gifts, even though he knows you like it. Shaming you for a dirty joke. I'm not even going to read your post. I already think you're an asshole. And then not going to her supper, her birthday supper. I can't even imagine why you wouldn't.
It's just selfish. He's a selfish human being. We can clearly attest that.
Run away from this guy. Ooh, I didn't know you could check other people's posts and stuff. Interesting. I might have to keep that in mind for other assholes we read. Like, what else you got, sir?
Yeah.
Ma'am. Yes, so asshole. All right, what's the next one. All right. Am I the asshole for not wanting to celebrate Christmas with my brother-in-law? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to hear that one. Hello, everybody, they say. So here's the thing. Me, 30-year-old female, and my husband, 32-year-old male, live in Germany. I am German Slavic, and he is Norwegian. Recently, we just became parents to our firstborn. All very exciting. Since our son is the first grandchild nephew on both sides, everybody in our families was very happy and excited. Since we live in Germany and traveling was difficult due to COVID still, we agreed to go to Norway with our 5 months. I guess they did get that much time off. Oh, wait, sorry. The way they phrased that, 5-month-old son, they said 5 months, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, old son. So in my head, I'm like, 5 months.
What?
Jesus Christ. I need to live there. So everybody from my husband's family can meet him. Everything seemed okay. So we said we would celebrate Christmas as well in Norway. We took the car via Denmark. The day before we arrived in Norway, we were already in Denmark. My husband's family calls that his youngest brother now has COVID. His other brother also already had it first. Therefore, we had to postpone the travel since the entire family lives in the same spot. Of course, we were concerned and wanted to know if his parents or other members have had contact with him. We were traveling with a newborn after all, and they said no. So we agreed on coming for Christmas, but we would have to celebrate without his brother since he got positive 6 days before Christmas. That stupid thing. The day before, my mother-in-law came to me and asked why we don't want to celebrate with his brother and maybe he could have come after all. He still has COVID, and we were there with our newborn who just traveled 1,000 kilometers and has no immune system. I said no. And she started to argue that in Norway, you have to isolate yourself for only 6 days. Oh, I didn't know it was different in Norway.
Oh, yeah, of course. There's just different rules for different people and countries.
I mean, we all had different rules, but I don't think the virus was different. But anyway, until it morphed.
Sure.
For 6 days, and those would be over the next day. I stayed strong and said no again, since I knew that you can stay contagious for at least 10 to 14 days. I have to clarify, I am a doctor. I worked down in the ICU when COVID started. I have seen how bad it can get. So I explained this also to my mother-in-law. She wouldn't listen. I said, okay, if my husband's brother would get a PCR test and it would be negative, then it would be fine. He could come. She went nuts and said that he won't do that because it would be positive, and then he has to stay another 6 days in quarantine. So it's like ignorance is bliss. If I just don't know, I'm not going to quarantine anymore.
Sure.
So she was putting her own son, my husband's brother, over the health of her first and only grandchild. So later I found out that she called the Christmas an amputated Christmas.
What? Amputated?
Is that
Christmas?
Amputed? Is this a misspelling or a word that I don't know? Hold on. A-M-P-U-T-E.
Ampute?
Amputed. Amputate.
Amputate. The way you spelled it didn't sound like amputate.
It looks like just,
it was ampute.
It is amputate. Amputed.
Amputed?
Amputed. I think it's a misspell.
Probably.
I don't know. We're just going to say they canceled Christmas because I can't make sense of what they were trying to say there. So
we amputated it.
But it was amputed, and I think that's why my brain just can't make it make sense. Anyway, so am I the asshole for not wanting to celebrate Christmas with my COVID-19 positive brother-in-law in the presence of my newborn son?
No.
By the way, my husband was out with his dad at the time my mother-in-law confronted me. He was obviously also against celebrating with his brother. He is also a doctor and also works in the ICU.
No, that is absolutely not. You have COVID. I have a child. No, fuck all the way off.
Yeah. And I get that it sucks. I mean, okay, I haven't had to do it personally. I know you have, in the isolation. I mean, we all went through isolation at some point, Yeah. And we know it sucks. I mean, especially around the holidays, it's got to really suck, especially if you're the type who really likes to go spending things. But you really want to risk the health of a 5-month-old?
Or everybody for that matter, but
well,
especially
that's true too, but
the 5-month-old. I mean, my God, you know how bad I felt that last year. I think I got COVID around my birthday, and the day was it the day of, or no, it was the weekend I think before my birthday happened, because I think it was in the middle of the week. I just didn't feel right Sunday. We were supposed to go to my over to my daughter's house and just have a little birthday dinner. I just didn't feel right, and I was even saying that. I was like, I feel off, and I just don't want to get anybody sick. And everybody's like, but I mean, you're not running a fever. You're fine. Come on. And I was like, all right. And then come to find out I had COVID, and I felt so bad. I was like, God damn it! That's how I didn't want to go.
Yeah.
Because
is everyone okay though?
Yeah, and nobody else got it outside of Katrina, because
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're kind of around each other.
Yeah, but yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. And yeah, this person's kind of being a jerk if they're trying to push him to go hang out with his brother who has COVID. I mean, no. Sorry.
Yeah, come
We can
on.
video chat or something, man, but you've got COVID. I'm not coming around you.
Yeah, like I feel like that one's easy. No, you're not the asshole. I understand she wanted to hang out with all of her kids. I get that,
Yeah.
But like, come on.
Shit happens.
Shit happens. Zoom him in or whatever for a little bit. And if you guys don't care after the festivities, then he can come over after they've left with their kid.
Yeah.
And then he can still spend time with some people. He'll just have to see the baby on another time,
Yeah.
Yeah, not the asshole. You're protecting your baby.
Exactly. You're fine.
All right. Am I the asshole for ruining my mom's Christmas and refusing to talk to her since? Well, I mean, when you put it like that.
Okay.
I love that. I love just reading the titles and deciding, yes. Okay. I, 36 female, was raised by my single mother, 60 female. I love her very much, and I've forgiven many of her less than stellar moments, knowing she did the best she could as she, herself, and her 6 elder siblings were raised by an abusive woman. As a child, something traumatic happened that involved my aunt and her boyfriend. So trigger warning here. I don't know what she's going to say. So I don't know. My mom knew about it and did nothing, though through the years, I harbored a silent hatred for my aunt. In my 30s, I started therapy and worked through my childhood trauma. I brought up the event with my mom, and she said she didn't remember and dismissed it. At the same time, my aunt's health started declining. My mom kept calling me, telling me how hard it was to care for her, until one night when I got fed up and told her I was mad at her, my mom, for helping my aunt when she knew what happened to me, and told me that she's her sister and I would keep taking care of her. I told her I hated my aunt and would refuse any inheritance she may leave me, and my aunt passed away in March. So fast forward to July, the first time I get to see my mom since December, because pandemic restrictions made it impossible to do so in my country. My mom gave me a really cute PJ she found and had thought it would be perfect. So she came to visit, show of gratitude. I wore the PJ to bed. The next morning, she asked me if I liked it. I said yes, because it was soft and stretchy. I don't know where we're going with this. She then dropped the bomb that it belonged to my aunt, and that now I had something to remember her by. I instantly felt sick to my stomach and wanted to rip it off my body, and I told her I didn't want the PJs anymore. But before I could say anything else, my mom told me to stop making a scene, that it was just a piece of clothing and I should be grateful. I couldn't talk back, and I was emotional, and I did not do it in a mature manner. I went to change, washed the PJs a few days later, placed it in a bag, and gave it to someone else the next I saw them. So she asked about it on the next celebration, and I didn't want to cause a scene, and I just gave it back and said I didn't want it. And that she said I was being selfish. And it looks like there's a bunch of back and forth here about that. So she's tried reaching out to me before a few times now, but I've refused her calls and her texts. And my family are pressuring me to tell her that I only have one mom. I'm being a bad daughter. She only has me. And I should apologize for making her feel bad, but they don't know the whole story. And they're making me feel horrible. Am I the asshole?
No.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume, go back to the trauma. She didn't go into detail, but was it the aunt who was responsible, or did she know about it and did nothing to stop it?
It sounds like she knew about it. Let's see. As a child, something traumatic happened that involved my aunt and her boyfriend. My mom knew about it and did nothing, though through the years, I harbored a silent hatred for my aunt. Yeah.
Okay. So
it sounds like, yeah. Maybe the boyfriend wasn't so great and aunt just kept it a secret because she didn't want to get her husband, boyfriend, whomever in trouble. Or
heard
whatever.
that story too many times. So, no, I can't fault her for being, because she's got trauma.
Yeah.
And nobody, even her mom, is ignoring it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she clearly has, the mom knows. The mom knows that something happened. She, I would assume, has all the details. So that would just make it even worse that I understand that's her sister.
Mm-hmm.
But your sister did this to your child.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd be done with my fucking sibling. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know I've got one, but if he was responsible for hurting my daughter like that, you are fucking done. You'd be lucky to be breathing right now. So, no, I can't fault her because she's trying to deal. No one wants to hear it. And they're trying to make her feel crazy for having these feelings that are real. So no, fuck all these people for not listening to her and acknowledging she has trauma and is trying to work through it, and you want to keep pushing it back on top of her.
And it sounds like she even mentioned here that like her mother was growing up with herself and 6 elder siblings, that they were also raised by an abusive woman. It sounds like mom never worked through that either, has probably gaslit herself or anything into thinking like this is maybe just normal family behavior. We look out for each other. We don't, So I'm not saying what she's doing to her kid is still right, but nothing's getting addressed, and she's trying to go to therapy and work through hers. And it's just unfortunate that sounds like her mom never did that.
Yeah.
And is now unfortunately passing that kind of stuff along because it was never addressed.
And you can't.
I'm not a doctor, but like
you can't fault the daughter for protecting herself. So if it means cutting off the mother and all the family members just to keep her sanity, then so be it. You've got to protect yourself at the end of the day,
Yeah. And I've heard a lot about this problem too with kids who go no contact for whatever the reason was, no contact with their parents. And I've seen kind of the backlash the child gets, because same things that she was reading here. You only have one mother. You only have this, that, or the other. And if you ever took a moment to just like maybe listen to the kid, because maybe the kid did try a lot of things and the mom was also too abusive about it because of her trauma she's never addressed and kept passing it along, unfortunately, generation to generation with however they are.
It's just messed up. This whole situation is messed up.
I can see why some of these kids, when they explain why, because like I reached out, I tried this, I explained why. And if the parents are still like, no, I'm your parent, you just are supposed to deal with it because that's how you do with family. I kind of don't blame the kids for doing it. You've got to live your life and you've got to be happy in it. And if this is going to constantly be making you traumatized and miserable, and they're not even trying to help themselves or better themselves to be around you, I can't really call you an asshole for that, because it sounds traumatic and it sounds like you really badly are trying to move on from it. You went to therapy, you're doing all these things. And even if it's just PJs, it doesn't matter. It's what you're going to think about every time you see them.
Yeah.
It's what it now represents. A horrible woman who harbored a secret of something that happened to you and did nothing about it.
And, I want to just, I don't want to go too deep into this because I know this is a very touchy subject, but I realized recently, and I want to make it very clear how I'm trying to posit this. It's not like, look at me, I'm perfect. But I realized how lucky I have been to have avoided certain abuses in this world. And because I feel like every time I turn around, somebody I know or yet another person, they have an abuse, they have something they've buried, they didn't want anybody to know about, but they were abused in some way, shape, form, or fashion, whether it was physical, sexual, emotional, whatever. And I'm not saying I didn't have my share.
Sure.
But to the degree that I hear other people and what they went through, I consider myself very lucky.
Yeah.
I know my parents weren't perfect. And in today's day and age, somebody could point to something they did and be like, oh, look at how terrible a parent they are. But at the end of the day, when I look back on it, I don't feel like they were ever really bad parents about anything. They were strict, but I wouldn't say that they were terrible, bad, abusive, mean-spirited fucking parents.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I count myself lucky for that. And I wish more kids had these, because when I hear about it, it just makes me so, it upsets me so much. Like, why can people not be decent?
Especially to your own. Like, I mean, like you should be decent to everybody, but like your own flesh and blood, like it just seems like so much more of a betrayal to me.
Yeah, it does. Because like the aunt and the uncle thing or the boyfriend, like that alone, I've heard that story so many times and I don't understand it. I don't. And it makes me so fucking angry. But we just, it's a way of life for so many people. And I don't get it.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially the way people want to pass it off like, oh, well, like as we used to call it, exchanging trauma Olympics or something. This someone's always got it worse. Well, you know what?
No.
Are we even addressing any of these things or trying to make it right? So hopefully it stops with her. It sounds like it will be like she's trying to get herself right and all this kind of stuff. I hope the mom, like even at 60, you can still go to therapy, try to get help because you're clearly have a lot of things you need to work through also. And then they can maybe find some sort of common ground in the future before it's too late. But until then, I don't think she's wrong for cutting off and wanting to not be a part of it.
Nope. No,
not the asshole. And I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well.
Same.
All right. Let's see. Am I the asshole Christmas gift fight still mad? That's the what?
Okay.
That's the title. Not even like a real sentence. So my boyfriend and I had a horrible 2022. We were off more than on. I decided to give him another chance in November. For a cute, different gift idea for me, I suggested he go to a fabric store with me and pick out material he would think I would like. I would approve and he could make a blanket. It was one of the no-tie fleece blankets. So is he just like, okay. Does he make these things? Like, I feel like I needed a little bit more background on like this. Is he a seamster? Is that what you call dudes that seamsters?
Yes.
Seamster. I like it. We'll go with it. He sews. So we got in a huge fight in the fabric store because he picked out fabric with horses, then deer. I am not an animal person. He should have known better. I kept saying no, and his choices got worse. I told him to forget it, and we left the store. I think he was messing with her now, but anyway. Like, what about with the horsies? I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. Let me read and tell her story. On Christmas Eve, he mentions he has a gift for me. Strange, because I bought him nothing. I said, okay, show me. He went back to the fabric store and bought material on his own to make me a blanket. This is after I told him specifically to drop it, not do that. Do I like what he bought for fabric? Yes, it's a cute pattern and he did a good job. However, I'm furious about the initial run to the fabric store and don't want it. After 9 years of dating, you should know I wouldn't want a blanket with flippin' horses on it or deer. Then I think of the other patterns he picked. Horrifying. His final selection was much better, but I just can't bring myself to want it. He is also 50 years old and never been in a fabric store before, I don't think. Am I being an asshole for telling him to shove the blanket surprise Christmas gift? Look, I have so many more questions.
Yeah,
now.
There's a lot going on here, man, because...
So he's never been in a fabric store, but he's going to make you a blanket?
And he sews?
I'm like, is this real? I mean, I could believe he sews, but if he sews, I feel like he would have bought fabric before in the past.
That's what I'm talking about.
Unless he's just like stealing your clothes or something and other blankets that just happen to be around the house and making them into other blankets. Like,
yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense. He would have been in a fabric store if this is something he does on a regular basis.
This is like his first foray into blanket making, and he's like, here, babe, I want to make you a blanket with horses and deer.
Have you ever made a blanket, sir? No. I'm just going to do it. It seems like something I could do.
I hope all he did was buy fabric and unroll it and was like, here's your blanket.
Enjoy.
See, baby, I made you a blanket.
I don't know. This is hard to
I kind of feel like she is being an asshole because if we're taking it for just what she says, she doesn't want it now because he chose something bad first.
Yeah.
But he landed on something good, and now she just doesn't want it to be petty, is how I'm kind of reading it.
But look, she said in that post they've been dating for 9 years, off and on. I don't think they're meant to be together. I think that there's something good there that they enjoy. Maybe the sex is great, but beyond that, I don't think they're compatible because 9 years of this shit? 9 years. You sound that is pettiness on a level of somebody that you have known for a long time, and you're just doing it. I feel like it's a
sibling rivalry thing. Yeah. Like you're going to the fabric store and just like arguing over fabrics and stuff, which I guess whatever. If you've been with someone for so long, I mean, even like our level is just like stupid now because it's like we just know everything at this point. So like, I don't even have questions. I want to know why he's making you a blanket. I know it's not the focus. It's not what I'm supposed to be worried about. But if you've never been to a fabric store, he went back to fix the mistake to make you happy.
Yeah. Think about that for a second. He went back and still did the thing despite you getting angry.
And got the thing you liked. You said you liked it, that he did better. This one was good. He picked it out good. However, you broke it up with. I am furious about the initial run to the fabric store. You know what?
Why are you still worried about that initial run to the fabric store?
Well, see, now I got to wonder there's some other stuff going on here. If she's still able to like fixate on this argument, so I almost like I can kind of empathize here. So maybe you've got to talk to some other people about why. And I'm not going to judge you for it because like everybody sorts through things differently. Everyone's brain filters through information in a different way. Yours is not filtering out the good deed or filtering in the good deed. You're still fixated on the problem. I think just some therapy is probably needed to figure out why you're fixated on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
I get that way. I'll fixate on things for 20 billion years after the fact of something that happened that really in reality doesn't even matter in the grand scheme of things. But my brain remembers it and will fixate on. So maybe we're not looking at the right cause of what the problem is here.
Yeah, it's very true. She could be leaving out a very crucial detail to this conversation that makes her out to be the asshole. And
I kind of think she already made herself sound like an asshole. If I'm honest, you know, like
I guess a bigger asshole.
There you go.
Because now, I agree. I think she is the asshole in this situation because she's just being petty. That's all this is really coming down to. She's being petty. She wants to be angry about it, which sounds to me like you just want to fight with this man. So
maybe the makeup sex is really good. So she wants to always keep it. Like, quit making up with me. I'm going to like you. And then it's going to be bleh. You know, like we need to hate each other. Like push up against the wall. We need it rough, you know, like maybe, and that's okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay
I think that has to be the crux of their relationship is it's just great sex, but nothing else works. But the sex is really, really good. So you're trying to make it work. But every time you get to a breaking point, you need a break. And then you come back and be like, the sex was really good. So maybe we could try it again. 9 years of this shit.
Yeah. Like clearly there's something that keeps you guys like going back towards each other. Not saying it's a healthy thing, but there's something that guys you're trying to pull on that thread and it just seems like it's not working. But yeah, it just feels petty. So as you've stated it and not taking anything else into account because I can't, I would just be placing my own on yours. You are the asshole.
Yes.
He fixed it to make it right. And I love that he's learning to make a blanket for you.
He went above and beyond as far as I'm concerned.
Like I love this. Let's see what time is it. Okay. Am I the asshole for telling my husband I don't like his Christmas gifts?
Uh-oh.
Well, I mean, honestly, just looking at it on the surface, no, because he might keep getting you those things if you're married.
It depends on what they are.
Exactly. Let's see here. First time writer, long time reader here. Okay. So my husband and I have been married 15 years and together a few more years. So a long time. I love the man and he is most of the time a thoughtful dude. He is a major procrastinator though. She did say dude.
That is thoughtful dude.
So she must be an elder millennial, just from the slang I'm hearing here. He is a major procrastinator, though, and this is a problem every year at Christmas. We live far from family, so always have to mail or order gifts early. My husband thinks of custom, thoughtful gifts for people like a week before Christmas. They don't make it in time. Then he panic orders something else that might be late, etc. every year. He also gets upset since a lot of the gifts for our kids are for me, but I just order them in time, so I have trouble feeling bad about it. Slap his name on it. Whatever. You guys are the same at this point. So this year, I started talking about what to get people, telling him we should brainstorm together and trying to help. This morning, I mentioned getting started and said, this will be good. We won't have to buy crappy mall gifts a few days before. He asks me if I meant the gifts he buys me. And I said, well, ... This really set him off on a tirade about how ungrateful of a person I was and how thoughtful he is and how my gifts are awful even if they are on time. Oh no, now he's trying to be yours are bad too and I don't say anything.
Yeah.
I I really was surprised. I told him I didn't think this would be an issue, and it was a flaw he's had for years that I thought he knew about. Like, we talk about it and crisis manages persons every December, so how can he be surprised? That made him more mad. I'm not sure why I'm the asshole here, since this is clearly a him problem. I'm not sure how I could have been nicer about it. Am I just expected to smile at my last-minute mall finds for the rest of my life? In past years, I mentioned things like, maybe just one nicer gift for me instead of the many little things. Or I like things I wouldn't buy for myself. Maybe not things I could just go get. Or that one year when you got me those earrings, I really liked them. So it's like trying to drop hints, it sounds like here. So this is the first year I have been so direct. So maybe that is why he is so upset. But maybe this is how other family members feel about getting his last minute gifts too? Am I the asshole?
No, because that was a very. I say no. I say no because when confronted, because she did make an offhand remark, which she maybe didn't have to say, but she did in such a way that he caught on, and when he confronted her about it. She wasn't rude about it. She was like, oh, shit. And was trying to figure out how to navigate it.
Probably stepped on it a little more.
Yeah, it's like, fuck. And then it didn't work out. You know, you stuck your foot in your mouth and you're like, fuck. You know. But as she mentioned, she thought they had cleared this up. We thought this was something that was very aware.
Like, clearly, babe, you've done this every year. I didn't think this was news to you. You know, like you've lived your life the last 17 years, haven't you?
But that also clearly shows that if he got upset about it, he thought what he was doing was A-okay and wasn't a half-assed measure. He felt like he was going above and beyond.
Or he was aware they're crappy and was pissed he got called out on it.
That's true. Well, he just seems like the type that doesn't really think that far ahead. So,
well, the way she made it sound like he does think ahead, but doesn't follow through in enough time and then ends up having to purchase crappy mall gifts. So it's like, I could see why she would think he knew. Because if he was brainstorming with her ahead of time and coming up with decent ideas, but then just couldn't get himself motivated to do it, to have the gifts be there in enough time, and then he has to just like scramble to buy all these like off the rack shit that he's just throwing in a cart for people. Like, you kind of know you suck at this then, don't you, sir? Yeah. Unless you think it's normal. I don't know. I know most men that I knew growing up anyway, not to put you all in a bubble or whatever, women probably do this too, out there on Christmas Eve trying to get their shit last minute, you know, and it's like, I don't understand why you want to fight the Christmas Eve crowd, wrap your gifts in the same day. Like, take your time, spread it out. And I say this knowing I do the same thing. I don't want to, I hate buying stuff. Sure. That doesn't even matter what it is. I just don't like shop.
Well, I mean, the other thing with this too is he does realize that there is Amazon. And Walmart does deliveries, and you can order this shit online. You don't have to go to the mall. You could do this stuff in advance.
Well, I would think even that close to Christmas, you're probably running the risk of like post office and stuff not actually able to get it to you in time. Because this time of year, they're freaking busy, you know?
It's
like
true. It's true.
FedEx, UPS, USPS, all of that, wherever country, whatever works in your country, it's probably the same thing because all of us celebrate Christmas at the same time. Like, it's busy.
But there are gift wrapping options. You can mark it as a gift. You can have them gift wrap it. You send it to their house and say, open on Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah. And even if it's a couple of days late, be like, I'm sorry.
Not my fault.
Blame it on the mail. Like, I mean, well, they'll probably figure out you did it late, but whenever they get it, it would still be a better gift. I don't know. Maybe it's just that feeling of not having anything to give on the day if you're having to go be around family and you're coming in empty handed, but it's in the mail. Probably feels like a horrible thing to have to say every single year for 15 years, sir. Probably longer. This is just how long you've been married. So I'm assuming this is a lifelong process, however old he is. We didn't get that, but I'm going to assume 40s just from her slang.
Sure.
I'm going to assume 40s. So they got together in their 20s. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think she's an asshole because, like, I honestly could see me throwing off some sort of offhanded comment like that too, just assuming he knew.
Yeah.
But I wasn't meaning to be rude about it. It's just like, hey, guess what? This year we can get it done on time and we don't have to rush or get crappy shit. Now, maybe she shouldn't have said crap. Is that the word she said? Crappy mall gifts. Yeah, we won't have to buy crappy mall gifts a few days before. Like, maybe not say that.
But again, I think she thought he was aware.
Of course.
I think in the moment she thought it would be a joke, a funny little ha 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 ha. See,
that he would laugh with and go, yeah, you're right. We don't have to do it the day before.
Yeah. I'm sorry, honey. Yeah, you're right. But he took it a little. Apparently, she was not aware of his mindset on these gifts.
No, this was your first conversation. But I do think it's funny. It's like, oh, your gifts suck too. It's like, sir, look, we're really tired of you guys doing that whole victim reversal bullshit when your feelings are hurt. Like, just tell her I'm sorry. Or what do you mean they're crappy? But you don't have to attack her.
No, just take a breath, take a beat, come back and realize you have been half-assing it for over a decade. And, she's just asking you to try a little bit harder, put in a little effort. And she didn't even say to her. She just said to the other people.
To the other people, we're brainstorming together as a united front to get better gifts for people this year.
Mm-hmm. And yeah.
And then there's this evil part of me in the back of my head who like thinks he keeps messing it up on purpose, hoping she'll just take it over already. Like I've heard that about guys like, oh, I messed it up. Ha ha ha. And then we're supposed to be like, you're never doing it again. Like, no, if you bought the wrong thing at the store, I guess you got to go back to the store. That sucks.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, the next time they got the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
So when you let them know, nope, we're both doing this. You'll figure it out, babe.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Next time you won't put that red sock in with the whites. I just believe it, it's whatever it is. I'm not saying they all do that, but I've heard of that tactic.
Yeah. I get it.
So if I were her, I'd be like, he thinks I'm just going to be the one to always buy the gifts. We've been at this 15 years, babes. It's time for you to learn how to gift, or buy or whatever. But yeah, not the asshole in my opinion.
Yeah, I'll give her a pass too. I think she meant well, and it say the wrong thing the wrong way, and it blows up and was not your intention. I've done that.
And I think he knew his gifts were crap and he's just being sensitive for being called out on it too. I think he knows. Yeah. You have to know, sir. I don't know.
I would hope.
God, yeah, I would hope. Let's see. Maybe one more. Let me see if I can find one that's not very long. Let's see. Yeah, maybe that's not the case. All right. Am I the asshole for ruining my boyfriend's Christmas work party?
Uh-oh.
All right, well, let's see. Okay. This post is pretty much my last cry for help. I think reading through, she went back here. She's like, read some other people's comments. All right. My boyfriend, 30 male, and I, 24 female, were invited to his Christmas work party. I was so excited to go, and I had an outfit all planned out and everything. So my boyfriend is scared of his boss and really wanted to make a good impression, which I understood. I had been mentally unwell due to a fatal train accident. Oh my God. That I was in the month previously. I was suffering with PTSD, still am, and seeking help for it. It was such a hard thing to witness. Oh, shit. Okay. So the night comes and we get all glammed up for this party. My boyfriend was making me more excited by telling me it was in this massive hall in the city center. When we finally arrived to the massive building, the usual security checks were in place to make sure that no one had any weapons, etc. As I entered the main hall, I could tell it was a listed building. In the UK, listed buildings cannot be changed, added for context, because it was, in fact, an old train station. I looked up and the interior brick walls, clock, and shape still remained like a train station. After a while, I felt a sheer sense of panic and headed to the toilet to quickly clear my head. When I came back, I had told my boyfriend that I felt uneasy and panicky because we were in a train station. He then told me to get a few drinks down me because it'll make me feel a lot better. Oh, no, Dad won't. But so she did. An hour later, I felt worse. I was really trying to hold myself together and found it hard to do. So I asked my boyfriend if I could go home and that he could stay and enjoy his night. He kicked off at he kicked off at me, telling me how selfish I was being and how it would look if I left. I told him that his work has a counselor on site, so they should have some sympathy. I then ordered an Uber and told him I was going home and not worry about me. I made it clear that I was just going to go to bed and that I wanted him to stay and enjoy himself because he deserved it. As I was outside waiting for my Uber, he came outside and ended up going home with me. He spent all night trying to argue with me and telling me how selfish I was being. He didn't understand how it would bring on my PTSD and that I was making up excuses. I ended up losing it and screamed at him that I can't even stand on a platform without being scared. I shouldn't have shouted, but I felt trapped. I then went on to explain in great graphical detail about the events of my traumatic experience. He told me that he didn't want to hear it and that I was making him feel sick. That was it. And I got my belongings and checked into a Travelodge hotel. I feel bad for ruining his night. What? No, things haven't been the same since between us. And I need to know if I'm the asshole.
No, you should break up with this prick.
Oh my God. Right.
Because
he ruined his own night by being a jerk.
Yeah, she was not trying to ruin a goddamn thing. He wanted to make it about himself because he was afraid of his boss, and he seemed to think that she was going to fix all those problems. But then when she was not going to present herself the way he wanted it, he got upset.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, did you hear her though? Like, has he listened? That's my concern. Like, are you listening to what she's saying? You might hear her, but are you listening?
No, because he didn't want to hear it, remember? Oh, it's making me sick. I don't want to hear it. Too fucking bad. You want to know what the problem is? This is the problem. If you're not hearing it, again, a you problem, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not like she was trying to suffer through it. Like, who would have thought that that's where your party would be? I mean, really?
Yeah. No.
The one traumatic experience you had in your life, I would not think I would have to face a train accident at my boyfriend's work party.
Yeah. And so if they were, or if the boyfriend was bitten by a dog, had like a very traumatic experience with dogs, and they go to this party and it's at a dog park or some shit like that, is he going to be okay?
Mm-hmm. Well, he better be.
I mean, yeah, get a few
you
drinks down.
You better suck it up and just figure it out and have a few drinks and calm down.
Yeah, and calm down because that's what's going to happen.
We love being told to calm down. It always helps. I always find that too when people are like, you need to calm down. You know what? I didn't think of that. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I should just calm down. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I can't believe I didn't think of that. Thank you for reminding me over and over and over.
As opposed to when she is expressing her concerns, what can I do? What can I do? You know,
I would hope you would kind of know.
But the fact that he couldn't even acknowledge that, you know, that she had a traumatic experience, she's in a place that is triggering that. There's no part of you that can empathize at all? Like, you just can't take for a moment and be like, oh, I didn't even think about it. I'm so sorry.
Right.
Like, that's terrible.
Right. And like, is this the first time he even knows? Because like, now I'm concerned, has he not even asked or like tried to be there for you up to this point with it?
It doesn't sound
Unless
like it.
This is something that happened well before him and maybe it's just the way it's written.
But still, I mean, there should be
all together, but still, yeah.
There should be an understanding. I mean, if they've been together for some time, surely this story has been brought up. You know, if you get intimate with somebody, I would hope some of your darker or deeper secrets start to get unveiled because you plan on being together. You kind of need to know some of these things.
Right. And it was fatal. It made it sound like she's lucky to have even made it through.
Yeah, there could have been other people.
So I could imagine the PTSD. Imagine the shit she saw.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if she said fatal, people died. She didn't. But I couldn't even imagine what that would even feel like to witness. Like, I just can't.
No.
So putting that even I don't even care what the situation was. If she was having a PTSD moment, I don't give a shit if she was like in the middle of a restaurant or in the middle of a park or at the mall. She got triggered. Help her come back to ground. I don't know. Like, yeah, he's making it worse.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you're the asshole.
No, she's not. This guy is self-absorbed, doesn't give a shit about anybody but numero uno. So no, fuck that guy.
yeah, fuck that guy. You deserve better. And the fact that you're still worried about ruining his evening, it's like she's taken it in, like she's made it her problem, which I mean, in a sense it is. I'm not going to say it's not. It is something she has to work through and everything like that. But she shouldn't have to feel like she has to hold up that stoic barrier in front of you.
No, she gave him the out. She said, I'm going to go home. You enjoy your party. Yeah, you decided to leave and be pissy about it all fucking night. So that's on you, buddy. Because something tells me in his head, he was like, well, if I don't go, then people are going to think we fought, and then they're going to be judging me all night. So I got to go now.
Yep. And you know what? They're not wrong.
No.
If she was feeling bad and needed to leave, you should go with her. Now, again, if she was saying to stay and all this kind of stuff, and if he did, I don't think I would have been mad at him. Like, I asked him to stay. This is once in a while thing. This is a problem I'm having right now. I'll catch you when you're done. Because she clearly didn't want to ruin your night.
Yeah, she was being very considerate to you and trying to be like, this is your work party. I'm ruining it, but I don't want to ruin it for you. So you, by all means, stay and enjoy yourself. I'm going to go home. It's that simple. That's simple.
Mm-hmm. And I've been in situations like that where it was like, it's time to go.
Yeah.
You with me or not, stay, you know. And yeah, I have been that person watching the dude stay. And I'm not going to lie, kind of judged a little. Like, why are you still here? Yeah. Like, okay. Like, I don't, I shouldn't judge people's relationships. It might have been fine. But I'm not going to lie, in the back of my head, I'm like, okay.
What are you up to, sir?
Yeah, but not my business, but no, sweetie, I hope you're not with him anymore.
Yeah, I would hope not either, because he does not sound like a caring individual.
We've all been triggered.
Yeah.
How easy is it to just go, I'm done? And I'm not even talking about real trauma that I've had triggers for. Like, I mean, I've had real trauma, sure. But it's not one of those things where I'm just like, I could see it and it does that, So I know how hard it is for me to regulate my own emotions. I can't even imagine that.
No.
And then to have the PTSD, like I've had my own kind of panic attacks. I can't even imagine what they're like when you've got that. Like, she needed comfort. She needed to feel safe. She needed to go somewhere she was familiar with. Mm-hmm. And you just kept following her to keep an argument going.
Yeah, that's all you did.
That's all he wanted to do, was just to make sure he got to keep fighting about this whole thing. So no, you're not the asshole. And I hope he's single.
Yeah, he doesn't
learned
deserve
his
anybody.
lesson. Yeah, okay. I don't know. Did you want to do one more?
Let's do one more. Let's
see here. I went too far. I didn't delete all of my Thanksgiving ones here. So, nope. That is Thanksgiving. So, am I the asshole for selling a Christmas gift while still at a Christmas dinner?
Oh, wow.
I want to hear how this would even work. Okay. I, 43 female, was raised by a family that never legally adopted me since I was under 1 year. So my last name is different from my parents and siblings. My brother's wife, brother is 50, sister-in-law 40, has never thought of me as part of the family. The day we met, she told me that since I'm not, insert, a real family member or a real family name here, that I'm not going to be included in her wedding.
Oh.
So I wasn't. Life goes on. We've never really bonded. Forward now 12 years. For Christmas, she got me a gift card for a coffee place, and I thanked her. Later, I asked another family member if she'd like to buy the gift card because she goes there often, and I don't, as I don't drink coffee and never have. She did. I told my sister-in-law I had sold it and thanked for the gift. Side note, sister-in-law doesn't drink coffee either and also never has. So it feels like maybe this gift was to be kind of bitchy. I don't know. The last several family events since Christmas have been progressively more awkward between us now, to the point of no speaking or eye contact. So I asked my brother what her problem with me was. He told me it's about the gift card at Christmas. I said it's ridiculous to hold a grudge this long over the totally thoughtless gift, and that she should move on and stop making me feel uncomfortable every time we have a family gathering. So am I the asshole? I think everyone's an asshole in this story.
Yeah, because the sister started in from day one, the moment you moved into the house, and became part of this family, being like, you're not a real blankety blank, so you're not going to be part of anything. So it already sounded like some gatekeeping.
And like my brother's wife is telling me I'm not a real family name here. Did you hear that? My brother's wife. Not my brother, not my sister. So who is she to us again in this family?
Yeah, no. She sounds
of all
like
the
an
people
in-law.
that call it out.
So she's a sister-in-law?
Yeah. My brother's wife, 40, or my brother's wife, brother is 40, sister-in-law 50, never thought of me as part of the family. The day we met, she told me that since I'm not a real insert family name here, that I'm not going to be included in her wedding.
Okay, so...
At this point, she's more of the family than you are, bitch.
She sounded like she had a bug up her ass from day one.
Now I'd be like, what did you do? Why does she not like you?
Yeah, like
what's the other?
Sounds
what's the deets?
Uppity. You know, like if you were on the outside looking in, what I'm hearing is like rich status queen.
Oh yeah.
And then you've got the peasant sibling that comes in. It's like this person again. That's the vibe I'm getting.
I mean, and that could be right, because I'm also wondering, like, if it's come up in conversation. So brother has talked about this for whatever reason, just, you know, she's adopted or not officially or whatever, but she's adopted. She's part of the family. You know, she's lived with them since she was 1, according to this post. So does your brother feel that way too?
It kind of makes you wonder.
That she felt so okay with saying that to her.
Yeah.
As the one marrying into the family?
Yeah, it makes
I feel like
you
there's
wonder.
a lot getting left out here. I mean, I know you can only put so much, but hers was shorter than probably all of the ones I've read today.
It's true. It feels like there's got to be some more deets, because there's some friction in here that seems unwarranted, other than someone just being an outright asshole. But like you said, the sister sold the gift card. That sounded like a very intentional thing to do. Like, oh, you got me something I'm not going to use. Fuck off. I'm going to sell it to somebody who will.
Yeah. So she's saying she doesn't drink coffee. So the adopted woman or whatever doesn't drink coffee. So the sister-in-law buys her a coffee gift card. And then supposedly the sister-in-law doesn't even drink coffee either. So was it sister-in-law? Did you give her a gift you got from like Secret Santa at work?
Probably.
Because it feels like you are also regifting something here. Because if you don't drink coffee, now I could forgive that you maybe not know that your sister-in-law doesn't drink coffee, right? Because it doesn't sound like you gave 2 shits about her in the first place and she's not a family name. But like, if you don't drink coffee, did you actually buy it for her either?
That's what I was going to say, because that's a very specific gift to get somebody. You get somebody a Starbucks gift card, you know that's something that they partake in. That is,
you would think,
somewhere that they go on a regular basis. So therefore, you know, this will be something they'll use. You know,
or they like it and would never get it for themselves because it's too costly or something. It's a gift,
right? Yeah,
something they should want.
Exactly. So you would have to know she enjoys coffee to get her a gift card for a coffee house. That's how that would work. You know,
I would think so.
Restaurants and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of do a gamble on that, where it's like, well, you get one with get gift cards now where it's like multiple restaurants or something like that. I mean, you can see somebody saying, yeah, they would probably eat at one of these restaurants. Here's the gift card.
Right.
Fair, safe bet. Coffee, that is a very specific thing. So, like, it's getting somebody a Dick's Sporting Goods gift card. If I don't shop at a Dick's Sporting Goods, then what the fuck do I need a gift card there for?
Right, like, I don't sport.
Yeah. So, if I got that as a gift, I would be, what the fuck is this?
I bought
what am I
Mace
gonna do
there
with
once,
this?
so there you go.
Yeah.
There, I found one thing at Dick's that I can buy.
So, no, I can't.
I feel like there's just, because I want to know why we're treating her so badly. The one who is like adopted but not adopted officially or whatever. Like that's got me confused. Like I could put all sorts of fake stories in here. Like, is she really adopted? Maybe mom and dad just agreed to say she was adopted because dad couldn't deal with the, infidelity or, like I'm making all these stories up, but it's just like, why do we hate her so bad?
Yeah, because it's an outside person who's not even part of the family who has this grudge.
That's what makes this even worse. They're just like, you're not even in the family, technically, Like, now that you got married, sure, but like at the time, you were just some bitch's girlfriend. Like, who are you?
Something tells me there's a deeper history between the two of them that we don't know about that she didn't specify, because to have that kind of animosity with somebody, she's been there since birth. They had to know each other. They had to have interactions. They know each other, and they have not gotten along. And that's where a lot of this shit it's sniping shots back and forth with one another.
I mean, the whole selling it at the Christmas dinner is kind of hilarious.
I mean, why wait?
Sure. I feel like I might have waited, but again, I don't know how their dynamic is. It sounds like they like to do this back and forth, and the brother's not helping.
No, he's not.
Like, he's clearly not helping at all, which I have experience in for that sort of stuff. When a family member marries someone who separates them from the rest of the family, and then you eventually got to blame them because they're the ones allowing it to happen and don't stand up for their own family. So I've been there.
Yeah.
Brother, you might regret this at some point, because she sounds like she might be a lot. If she's willing to make jabs at your family like that, you're just asking for all sorts of dumb holidays together. Like, it's just never going to be good.
Nope. And she sounds like a piece of work. Like, type of person I could not be around for very long.
No, I don't know. I feel like all y'all need to just go your separate ways.
Yeah.
Let's just all pretend like we don't know each other anymore. It's like, I mean, I think they're both kind of an asshole. She got you a gift she knew you wouldn't like, and you deliberately sold it basically in front of her. So maybe you're both assholes a little bit.
I mean, to be fair, depending on where this rivalry started.
Yeah, we'll never know.
That we'll never know until somebody clarifies it for us. But we're just going to assume they've both got problems with one another that we're not getting all the details on. Not. So yeah, we'll classify them both because they both did asshole things.
Yes. And I keep trying to look. There's no edit because this one was actually just from last year. Is that what it means to ratio? There's like 9 upvotes and 28 comments. So when there's more comments than there is like likes or whatever, does that mean it was a ratio? Like, people had way more to say about this shit than they cared to like it?
I guess.
I feel like every time I think I understand what ratioing is, somebody says something, I'm like, well, then maybe I didn't. But I feel like it's more comments than likes or shares or... Okay, look, I don't know. Dava, just let me know in Discord. I'm sure you're already screaming because you probably told me several times what it was. All right. Somebody said for this incident, she's the asshole. That's just a tacky, gross thing to do. The sister-in-law is an asshole for previous behavior, though. So it looks like they kind of agree with us.
Yeah.
Like, you both kind of suck. And I think you should delete this from the internet. I don't know.
I mean, seriously, you can't defend the sister-in-law. You can't. She's coming off. And again, we're getting this secondhand from her, so she might be exaggerating some of these. So
exactly. Like, I feel because when I have more questions when I'm done reading it, that's when I'm like, did you leave a lot of stuff out? And again, I know we're working on character limits, but yours was shorter than the other ones I've read. So I know you had a little bit more you could have gone.
Sure.
I feel like. Well, hey, at least we had a couple assholes this time. I feel like the last 2 times we did it, it was like debatable.
Yeah.
But no, you and the dude with the not gift giving, you made me mad.
Yeah.
You made me mad, sir.
I mean, Christmas time is the time to bring out the assholes. And boy, does it.
I think it's just there's so much stress around it because everybody does seem to have different expectations on how the day's supposed to go because of however their traditions were. And then you're merging families with different traditions, and some people cares more about it than others. And it sucks. I agree. Some people love that grind. But when you want to be with people, you got to deal with it sometimes. So get her a fucking gift. Jesus Christ.
I mean, it takes nothing to just get her a little something. Be thoughtful. I don't even want to say what it is, but she'll have it by now. But I got Katrina a gift, and it's for her birthday, and I hope she'll love it. I hope it comes out looking as good as I think it will, because this is one of those gifts that I got her that I was thinking outside the box. I saw it, and I thought, holy shit, she would fucking love that.
Nice. Love it.
So I'm hoping that it went over well. Like I said, I hope it's made proper because it's custom.
Oh, I'm sure she's going to love it.
So,
I mean, I don't know her that well, but even just the thought, even if it like didn't fit right or anything, I would probably be so touched that you just thought of to get me something so custom or whatever. We could probably get it adjusted,
sure,
or whatever needs to happen. You know, I'd just be like, oh my God, this is so sweet. You know,
that's what I'm hoping. But yeah, I mean, what? I love doing that for people, you know, and I don't understand people who don't. You know. I mean, there might have been a time where I was a little bit more wanted gifts more than I wanted to give them, but I don't know. I like giving gifts, you know, especially when a good one. That's what when it matters the most. When you see something like, holy shit, I know who would appreciate the fuck out of this. Yeah, and I want to get it for them. Those are the best gifts that I love giving.
No, I feel yeah. Especially when it's just like you see it and you know, like
like this
nobody would have thought of this. This is just for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, the other guy understands it, that buys all his own gifts.
Yeah. He's having the best Christmas ever this year. Hopefully.
He's like, I'm tired of coffee gift cards and Harry Potter keychains. Although he seemed to like the Harry Potter keychain.
He did.
He did. He's like, and you know what? Best gift. Because when she explained why, I was like, oh, you actually put a little thought into it. Whether I like it or not, you were more thoughtful with it. But yeah, well, siblings, I hope you get everything you like for Christmas. If you do the whole Christmas thing and the gift exchange or whatever.
Yeah.
Or just have a happy 25th of December. You know, either way.
Even if you
don't have to like Christmas.
You don't have to celebrate Christmas. You don't have to celebrate any of these holidays. You can just join into our festivities. And all we're doing is judging who's an asshole that just happens to be around these times.
Exactly. Just themed.
Yeah, it's a theme. That's all. So, yeah.
People are assholes all the time. We just, particular Christmas ones, you know. Holiday ones are usually a little more special.
So, siblings, do you have a Christmas story that you'd like to share with us? Are you the asshole or not? Let us know at supermegacrash@gmail.com or on social media at supermegacrash, because we're everywhere. You can also support the show over on Patreon. You can leave us a 5-star review over your favorite podcasting app and keep up with any and all things over at pencilpaperproductions.com/supermegacrash. Links are in the show notes down below. Join us again next week, siblings. But until then, don't be an asshole for Christmas and go beyond your limits.
This has been a Pencil and Paper Podcast Network production.